Hello, I'm Henry Coles Jr. and I'd like to give you a review of a literature review that I just completed called Self-Affirmation, Its Effects on Self-Perception. It's for Huntington University. The research topic that I chose is examining the potential positive effects of self-affirmation in connection with emotional intelligence domain self-perception. Within the domain of self-perception, I would also look at two subscales of it, self-regard and self-actualization, which I will define for you in just a moment. The problem statements that I chose to look at are threefold. Self-affirmation can enhance self-regard as a manipulation for positive self-esteem. Self-affirmation can enhance self-perception as a manipulation for personal achievement. And thirdly, human value systems can act as manipulations for positive self-esteem, self-affirmation, and self-perception. Defining self-affirmation, self-enhancement theorists Steele, 1988, and Tesser, 1988, begin to define self-affirmation as a fundamental need or motive to maintain a positive global self-evaluation. When the self-persona feels threatened, people experience psychological discomfort that they are motivated to reduce. And that's also supported by McQueen and Klein, 2006. A definition for self-perception is the realm of emotional intelligence that concerns what is generally referred to as the inner self. Self-perception determines how in touch with one's feelings, how good one feels about themselves, and about what you are doing in life. And that's defined for us by Stephen Stein and Howard Book in 2011 in their academic work. Now, looking at two subscales of the self-perception to give a fuller definition, self-regard is defined as the ability to respect and accept yourself, essentially liking the way that you are. And so self-regard is a identification and of I know who I am and I'm going to be comfortable with who I am, getting to that place. Self-actualization is a second subset or subscale, of the realm of self-perception, defined as the ability to realize your potential capacity. Now let's look at some of the findings from the research that we looked at, the review. What we found in looking at dyadic relationships between self-affirmation and self-perceptions that created a positive outcome. We use keywords of self-affirmation, self-perception, positive self-affirmation, and positive self-perception, and it generated these findings that we found that there were research to indicate that when you use self-affirmation and self-perception in a variety of different studies, you can generate the results of positive outcomes in the areas of using written affirmations, leader membership exchange, relationships between superiors and subordinates that generated positive self-affirmation and non-threatening or the reduction of threatening circumstances and situations to a person's persona, as well as enhancement of the way that they felt about themselves, believing in themselves that they could achieve and do greater exploits. And we'll talk just a little bit more about that. Personal achievement. We found out that self-affirmation can be used as a manipulation to help people to achieve their goals. And that many times we found this out in not only in adults, but also in young people, in students, 8th graders, 9th graders, that self-affirmation could help them to reach their goals of better grades, as well as we found in studies on where individuals were learning disabled or had some kind of challenge cognitively, that self-affirmation could be used to overcome things like bullying and to make those young people feel better about themselves, and therefore enhancing their self-perceptions of themselves. Human value systems. We found out that the way a person looks at life, the way that they look at interaction of mankind with one with another, impacts whether or not self-affirmation could positively create the outcome that we entered into this literature review seeking to find. Emotional self-awareness. How people emotionally feel impacts whether or not they're going to be positively or negatively manipulated by self-affirmations and or their own self-perceptions of themselves. We saw that social identity could be enhanced. The way that I fit in with my peers could be impacted by self-affirmation. The way that I ultimately feel comfortable, if I feel comfortable within a setting, I don't feel threatened, I feel like that I'm valued, yes, then there would be a positive outcome associated with that. And in correlation with that, self-acceptance. Individuals feeling good about themselves. I'm accepted, I belong. Not only do I feel good about belonging to this social connection, this membership, but I believe that I am valued by others. Social acceptance was really important and could be positively impacted. We also found out that the literature revealed achievement motivation. That when I have a positive self-affirmation or positive self-perception, that my ability to achieve, to strive, even under duress or circumstances, can be enhanced. And so there were academic motivations and achievements. There were also natural achievements that could be enhanced by self-affirmation. Reciprocal expertise affirmation. I as a doctor, you as a nurse, this person as a health professional, this person as an administrator. And so this not only was same occupation-driven reciprocation, but recognizing one another's expertise and therefore validating and giving affirmation in individual expertise and then bringing that together as a whole. We found that the literature generated evidence that reciprocation and people understanding and appreciation each other's expertise brought affirmation. And as we look at the thesis that we engaged in, self-affirmation as a manipulation to positively affect self-perception yielded enhanced personal belief and value system. And one of the things that I want to challenge those that might want to build off of this literature review is, how does belief or value system affect the outcome of self-affirmation as a manipulation of an individual's self-perceptions? A good question, because the way that I believe about myself, if I value myself, if I have low esteem versus high esteem, if I feel comfortable about my particular contributions to a social setting, an environmental setting, all of those things will impact whether or not I can be affirmed through self-affirmation and or self-perception. These systems are wide-ranging in scope, from demographical to cultural to economic, religious, to numerous perspectives of self-theory. And so in conclusion, a self-affirmation appears to be an intricate construct by which the effects reach a 360-degree spectrum of the self-traits. I also conclude with every manipulation of dyadic relationships To positively affect self-affirmation and self-perceptions, new questions arise that require study to support current findings. A third point that I'd like to bring out is biases must be monitored to account for the variations unique to each test group under examination. And then finally, the question of belief systems, religious, cultural, self-esteem, social, economic, transcendency, as well as others, need to be explored to measure the effects on self-affirmation and the emotional intelligent domain of self-perspection. Thank you so much.